Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. Today's video I will showcase the best PvE Nuker in the entire game, and that is none but Toshiro. Toshiro is a Shuriken champion known as being the hardest hitting PvE Nuker in the entire game. How hard does he hit? You know, like faction hard stage 20 and 21, he can one-shot them. Have you ever seen a champion that can one-shot the faction war waves? Yeah, Toshiro can totally do that. Toshiro has only one form. Sadly, he's the only mythical with one form. Every mythical has two forms. Yeah, like this right here is bugged. Like if you move, it will show a different champion. But really quick, guys, get yourself a free legendary Narma by clicking the link in my description. You will also get 3 amazing epics: Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. All you need to do is, number 1, log out of Play and Play on your PC and uninstall it. Number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Number 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Number 4, go to your inbox and claim the champion. So don't miss out on the great chance to get Narma and 3 very strong epics. So make sure to click my link before it expires. So why is Toshiro insane? The answer, like if I want to give you a simple answer, it's damage multiplication. What does that mean? Well, let's read his kit, okay? Let's start by his A3. Attack all enemies, place 60% decrease defense and leech debuff for 2 turns. Place an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs. He does bring 2 debuffs, so he's gonna double hit here. His damage is based on attack and HP. It's not like a high multiplier. I think it's 4 multiplier. It's actually less than 4. It's a 3.5 plus 0.1 of his HP, and he does scale. Like he does have some good HP, let's be real. So it's just like as hard hitting of an AUE as any legendary with an AUE ability, except that he brings in decreased defense and he has the chance to double hit. But if he double hit, that will make it, let's assume it was 4, it will become 8. So that make it one of the hardest hitting abilities. Is that enough? No, that's not enough. Let's go to his passive. His passive: fill this champion's turn meter by 5% every time they attack and target under leech. So he's gonna take way more turns by every time he hits a target under leech. That's not the end of it. And his A2 attack 4 at random, which means if he uses his A2, he's gonna get 20% turn meter back because they have leech, right? Because you assume you'll be using this first. That's not the end of it. Inflicted 25% more damage to enemies under leech debuff. So what does this do? So now you remember that 8, you multiply it by 25%. So 8 by 25%, and then you add it. So that's like you add 2 more. So now we are talking about 10 multiplier on this one, right? Just on the attack. Now that's also not the end of it. That's like Toshiro is just insane. Attack 4 at random, his A2. Each hit increases this champion's attack and HP by 5% while in their base form. Stack up to 100%. So he increases his HP and his attack by 100% if he attack the targets under leech, which he brings. So at one point his attack will become twice. So remember we said 8 plus 2, that's 10. So now if his attack ramp up, the multiplier will technically be 10 multiplied by 100%, added to 100%, which means his damage at the end, once his passive is ramped up, once he gets like his attack and HP, will be more than 20 multiplier. So whatever his base form, you multiply it by 20. But is that the end of it? No, because there is something else that can also increase his damage. Damage inflicted by this skill increased by 15% for each leech debuff. So there is another 15% more. His A1, attack one enemy, has 50% chance of attacking another enemy if the target they are under leech. This is good in Hydra, where he assume that this is as good as Ninja's A1. So in Hydra he has a chance to attack another one, so you would have 2 hits. And place perfect bail, it's attack and HP. So his damage scales based on attack and HP. So are you gonna build him HP or attack? No, I'm gonna build him pure attack. If I get HP, that's good. If I don't get HP, that's fine, because attack is where he scales. So remember the 20 multiplier we talked about? Well, there is a relic in the game, which is Iris Coronate, that increases his output damage by 30% if he lands debuff, which he does. So 20 multiplied by 30%. So what's 1/3 of 20? Around 7. So now we are at 27. And remember that this 30% is going to become twice, because his attack is going to multiply by twice. His attack going to increase to double. Is that the end of it? No. There is more. Sorry. So I have him 6-star Awaken. Usually I say that 6-star you go Crushing Rend. But if the champion has layers of multiplier, like Toshiro, like Trunda, because Trunda, you know, like how she multiplied her damage. If you have layers of multiplier, Nature's Wrath actually performs slightly better than Crushing Rend, because you will have insane stats and you can multiply that damage. And the thing about the multiplier is like, it feels like it's multiplicative, where like you multiply this by this by this by this, you're gonna end up with a huge number. So if you go with Nature's Wrath, that's another 30% here. Increase the damage inflicted by this champion by 5% for every debuff they place successfully, up to 30%. So we increase the damage here by 30%. We increase the damage here by also 30%, and that's 60%, right? So you can imagine, like, if you multiply a 10 multiplied by 60%, so we're adding 6 more. So we're talking about 26, I think, to 30 multiplier of his damage. So at one point, you will see his A1 doing 2 million in Chimera. Have you ever seen that number against Chimera? His A1 will do around 2 million. His A2 will do around 8 million against Chimera. His A3 will do around 5 to 6 million against Chimera. That's how insane Toshiro is. So another reason why you go Nature's Wrath over Crushing Rend, if you manage to get him some insane stats, you go Nature's Wrath. If you stat around 6 to 7k at max, you can go Crushing Rend, because at that point you would rather just ignore the defense rather than multiplying. So as an example, let me show you my stats. So how did I have him stats? I have him at 9.3k attack. That's insane. 53k HP. So this number will be almost 18,500 attack. This will be 100 and something HP. Speed, I have him at 264. 354 crit damage, 361 accuracy, because he's mythical. So 364 on the mythical, you multiply it by 20% because they ignore resistance, so we're talking about 420, 430. As far as the masteries, because I like this one a lot, because I use him in PvE a lot, and I would like to get this. But I actually do recommend you can just go with Life a Drinker and have an easier life. Why this one? Increase the damage by 4% for each debuff on this champion. I don't know why I have this one. The main reason is that there is nothing else to go for, honestly. I could just go for this one, to be honest. Cycle of Magic, instead of those two, because I don't think this one is doing... Oh, okay. Yeah, this one. So this one might not sound good in PvE, because, you know, like, PvE bosses has too much HP. I have seen Toshiro one-shotting a Hydra head, and then this one proc. So on your daily norm PvE Nuker, you won't run this, because you're not gonna like one-shot a Hydra head, right? Toshiro can, so that's why you use it. And because I have him in Merciless gear and lots of gears that give stats, that's why I go support the 3. I need this one in Chimera sometimes when he's weak affinity. I need those to be extended at like so in case I weak affinity, I weak hit on the next one, I have like 3 turn. I have a 3-turn decrease defense. Helm Smasher, because I don't have him in Crushing Rend, but I think you always go you always go Helm Smasher on him. You want to ignore as much defense as possible. Gear wise, now the best gear you can do on him is 9 pieces Merciless, so he can keep taking more turns. But if you can't do 9 pieces Merciless, what you can do is 6 pieces Merciless and 2 pieces Fatal, and the Fatal option of choice is so you can get more accuracy. That's like the main thing, because he's gonna be your Nuker everywhere. But what if you can't have 2 pieces Fatal? I would rather have 2 pieces this gear, but I just don't have 2 good pieces. Zeal. Why Zeal? Because remember when we talked about damage multiplication? This one will also increase his damage by 12%. And something here fun I would like to tell you, like, look at the stats. What is the Zeal gear? So now I dropped his attack by almost 1,000, right? 1,500. By having 2 pieces Zeal, you know, like, because you get 12% damage multiplication, he ended up doing the same amount of damage. So that's how insane Zeal pieces are. Sadly, I just don't have one with attack. Like, they all like just don't have attack. I like here, if this is attack percent, I would have been able to get him like 8.3, and then I would have been fine with that build. So again, 2 Zeal pieces, 2 Feral pieces, 2 Perception pieces. You can even go Relentless on him if you don't have a good Merciless gear. But if you have him in Relentless, you need to make sure you give him a Cat Gaze, and you need to make sure here you go Crushing Rend if you have him 6-star. If you don't have him 6-star, go with Nature's Wrath, because that's the way. So where do I use him? The answer is everywhere. I use him in my Doom Tower teams. Like, as an example, this is my Doom Tower farming team. He literally one-shot everything. Like, he just one-shot. I don't have a key to show you, but yeah, faction hard. You see this? This was on manual, by the way. I was manualing the key, but he was literally one-shotting every wave, okay, with his A3. Every wave, bam, he one-shot. But where does he shine the most? The answer is Chimera. Like as an example, look, this guy pissed me off. My friend and teammate, he has Cena, okay? I don't have Cena, but I'm gonna be able to put the same amount of damage, which is 300, almost 400, because I have Toshiro. Like, I don't have Cena, but Toshiro is gonna, like, Cena just give you infinite amount of turns, but Toshiro can do insane amount of damage. Now, what would I pair him on Chimera? If I have all these champion, Jindag here, our friend, I would just use this team. This is like the ultimate go-to best team in Chimera, right here. Cena, Andro, Feral, Lady Mikage, Toshiro. This is the ultimate. But if you don't have that, well, for me, I use this team, as you can see here. This one, Nekmo, Mikage, so she can just keep boosting him, give him increased attack. Galathir and Lydia. Now, something to mention here. If you have Fina, you just take out Lady Mikage and put in Fina instead, and that should be that should be your best team. Nekmo, is there anything better than Nekmo? Well, it's a long story, okay? But for now, you just use Nekmo. Nekmo, Galathir, Lydia, Toshiro, Mikage, or Fina. Fina will be able to give you more trials, but this should be like the ideal team. Now, let me just double check the gear, and we can start the key. So before we start the battle, please let me know in the comment section how much would you expect this Toshiro to do damage, and be reasonable. Don't be like, oh, 500 million damage. No, be reasonable. How much you would think this Toshiro will be able to do damage against this Chimera. So this is the team we will be running here in the Chimera. Let's just go and give it a go. I will show you once how much damage he will do. So let's start by doing this. Okay, ramp up his attack. He's gonna step us, but this is fine. So he started by 300,000. Okay, keep that number in your head. So remember, like, when he did 300 and 350. Now watch how much he does. 1.111, almost 1.2 each. So far we've managed to increase his damage by 4 times. Each hit is doing 1.4. Now that's not the end of it. Like, just watch. Okay, let's wait until he gets his A2. Okay, they removed increased attack. So something to mention here is that this team is not like fully optimized. Like, as you can, okay, it's something. So my Nekmo is in 9 pieces Feral, and Feral gives you 5% damage multiplication, increase your damage output by 5% for each debuff. Nekmo has 4, so technically that's another 20% of increasing the damage. But my Mikage and my Lydia aren't in protection, and that's because I want to keep spamming my A3. I find it better to have Mikage and Reflex Merciless just for the RAM, so we can get those trials. And my what's her name, Lydia, when I do 9 pieces of protection, I lack the accuracy, so I had to stop doing that. So she's just in a full speed, and the reason why I have her in full speed is just so she can get as many turns as possible against the ram form, so she can keep the fear up all the time. So let me just show you how much his A2 would do. So remember, talking about 31.5. See, the smallest was 766,000 up to 900,000, so 4 million almost, 3.5 million almost. That's such an insane. Okay, now take a look. This is lion form, and now his passive is maxed. We have increased decrease the speed, and this is from Nekmo, this is from Nekmo. We're missing one more debuff from Nekmo, but that's fine. If we had one more debuff from Nekmo, this would have been the maximum damage that Toshiro will be able to do. Let's see, how much can he do? 1.8 million damage on the second hit, 1.5 on the first one. I'm assuming the difference is just Helm Smasher, and you can see his A1 is casually doing 1.5. 1.6 this time he's defeating his old number. He's back to 1.3, so that's how insane he does. So 30 minutes into the game, and we're almost 403. I think we can get 375. I missed this trial, even though I have Galathir. It's just because I didn't pay attention to it, so we could have just easily done one more 13. This one is a bit annoying to get because it can't. I don't know why. Somehow it doesn't count the hit from when Mikage used her A1 and he joined. It must be just one champion doing it. So this is one of like where Fina is actually the best champion to have, to be honest. Or you could just, instead of Toshiro, have your Marius. This one I don't get how it kept resetting. So I could have easily got 1 and 2. So this 12 is supposed to be 14 technically. We're almost 375. Toshiro, can you give us like a nuke before we end the video? He's gonna A1. I'm sure that we're missing something. Oh, there is no increased attack. So let's see how much this one will be to end the video with. 1.5 to 1.8. It's like, that's like how, and it depends on the Helm Smasher proc. If the Helm Smasher proc, it's 1.8. If it doesn't, it's 1.5. So yeah, as you can see, Toshiro by himself managed to do 337 million damage. I don't know what to tell you. I'm actually speechless. I'm left out of words to describe how insane this champion is. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. Please let me know if there is any champion you would like me to showcase in the comment section below. And yeah, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.